Hello, first of all. Well, I was just thinking of something of a year, specific year that was hard, difficult, but at the same time good also in a way for me. Yes, earlier. So that made me do this with you. Um, yes. So this year was 2018. And yeah, first of all, at the very start of that year, I mean, a month before that, I've turned 40. Or, and yeah, I couldn't believe it myself. You know how it goes. So, something happens, of course, first when you enter 40s, it's different than when you turn 30, it kind of feels like, yeah, am I really this old? But it's still nothing, of course, in comparison to because that's the big, crossroads. You might say, even though it doesn't have to be, and even for many people, they actually turn older here inside earlier before the age of 40. So it's just a number in the end, but we still, give it a lot of significance, despite being just a number, of course. Yes, we do. So what happened at the very start of the year, in January? It was like 11th, I believe. I developed this really kind of nasty kind of illness. It's kind of well, it doesn't matter. It affected my feet and stuff. I think you can guess why. It was because I wasn't eating properly. I was drinking way too much soda, and you know, I was I had exercise. Exercise. I was in hitting the gym, so that's probably the only reason why I didn't get it earlier. I mean, but anyway, it was when I stopped when I was gonna start to work again, and I had to stop training. But I stopped a little too early, I guess. That's how it went. Anyway, it happened. It was nasty and it kept going. I would be better for a while and it kept coming back several times. So and so on. And this is the hard part, alright. Before that, I had been in this kind of really unhappy, well, not really a relationship, but something like that. Or I had actually tried to persuade a person that I was had been friends with for a while to, become my girlfriend. So that didn't work, and that kind of left me really like, hurting inside because I had been, single for a long time before that. I really was becoming sick and tired of it, but it was just not easy for me to, find somebody. And anyway, that kind of led to me trying to, which was really silly because I knew this woman from online, but she didn't live in this country. All right, and I kind of tried to find a substitute for really a relationship, a real one with her, but it didn't work either. Eventually, because she had a lot of baggage herself emotionally, and you know and it ended up really kind of messing me up here inside. So, yeah, I wound up really not feeling myself for a while there, and but what happened is that whole experience made me do something I had never done before. That was take a trip somewhere I had never been before. All right. Doesn't matter where this was, but it's a very well known place, tourist, let's say, destination. I always wanted to go. Well, not always, perhaps, but I wanted to go there before, and now I. But the thing is, this is what I wanted to say. If this hadn't happened to me, if my health hadn't suffered both physical and mental, I would never really been able to make that decision to just go to that place. And why? It's, I lived a rather, how to say it, isolated life for a long time. It wasn't my choice really, but it's also got something to do with another medical uh, issue I had before, which caused me, which actually required me to take some pretty heavy medications, and they kind of made me more anxious about going out, meeting new people. It made it so much harder, and that's why also my, let's say, love life suffered as well, because just the thought of getting out to look for girls, to put it away, was so frightening, so intimidating for me. It was, come on, no way, man, no way I'm doing that. That's how I felt back then. So, to cut a long story shorter, what I wanted to say is that sometimes these things have to happen before we really decide. We realize, all right, now it's time to stop this game, all right, stop messing around and just do it. Do what you want to do. That's very important because, yeah, too often we are like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't want to have to go. I don't have to do that. I don't have to go anywhere. And then what happens? You stay inside, you feel like shit, and you blame yourself for not having more courage or decisiveness to go somewhere. But yeah, that taught me a lesson. And also, it taught me another lesson. When you are not feeling well emotionally, especially, or anyway, psychologically, then don't watch things that you know may upset you, alright? Especially late at night. So that's what happened actually to me is that I one night it was still summer, I was on a holiday from work. And it's different when you work. It's alright, because you're gonna go in a couple of days you'll be back to work, and when you are active you can easily forget about these things, and it gets better, right? And that's why also work is important to do anything, have somewhere to go and do stuff and talk to people and all that, of course, really important for your mental health. But this was during the summer break, so I was really feeling, kind of, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to describe that. I was tired, first of all. I was tired because I hadn't been working for a long time, really working before that. I was tired. I had lost quite a bit of weight actually. But I don't know if that affected. It wasn't that much. It's only like 50 pounds or something. I had lost about 15 pounds, I believe, something like that. 15 to 20, I don't know. So anyway, one night it was late. I didn't know what else to do, so I put on something, a show that I have seen before, and so that's why I blame myself. I knew that this particular episode was very hard to watch, very violent stuff, and very, But I thought, let's see, maybe, it will not be this time around. You are so silly sometimes. We fool ourselves this way. Same like with I remember watching this. It was very interesting interview with the actor Leo Brancato. He was like that, you know. He says that drugs make you think, and you know, he was like gonna go to this audition for a really important role in a big movie, but the night before he was out doing drugs, and he thought, all right, I'll be fine in the morning, but he wasn't, of course. So it's a deception, right? So I ended up watching this show, this episode, I mean, and it just, the ending is kind of, you know, it kind of fucked me up. I mean, it fucked me up totally. And I just ended up not feeling myself for, you know, like, I mean, it actually took me quite a while to really. But another thing that turned out may have caused this also, this state, was that I had this tooth that was really bad, actually. So I ended up having to remove it. That hurt like hell. But anyway, I know after that I started kind of feeling better actually. And before that, I had some really bad dreams also. Terrible. And even when I was, alright, I can say where I was. I was in Barcelona, alright. So when I was there, I had a couple of dreams, you know, that were really scary as fuck, you know, really scary. But I was fortunate to be there, not here at home. Because, you know, it was kind of just easier, I guess, to take you another place, you know, kind of on holiday, and you had things to do, right? Go out, you know, walk around and stuff, see new places. Yeah, I was fortunate, I guess, that I was there. And that's another point. That's another point. Because, sorry, if I didn't take the decision to go there, it would have been worse, I believe. And I may have, would maybe have needed, uh, you know, medication for that. But that would have been good because I already had to take also medication for this ailment that started earlier that year. And I was taking other medications that I have taken for many years for this original chronic illness that I got. So, yeah, I mean, and you know what I discovered? Sometimes there's this guy here inside that tells you, no, you don't go there. It's scary. It's this, is that. You don't wanna. And then I learned to just say to myself, you know, don't listen to that guy. Don't listen to him. It's the fear, of course. You know, it's the fear that speaks, and anxiety. So that's when I find out, because earlier I knew something was not right with me. Also, the year before, I was feeling really, really kind of angry. I had anger outbursts all the time. Also, over this unresolved relationship, let's put it that way, thing, this attempt to kind of substitute a real life relationship with fake one on the internet. And yeah, I mean, it was terrible. But I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just figured, oh, I'm just pissed, you know, I had enough. I years of frustration just, you know, taken their toll. But I mean, this woman that I met online before, she knew instantly. I mean, it's amazing the people who have deal with this themselves. They know. I had once complained to her about something, somebody else, you know, that kind of made me angry. I don't know what it was on online also. And she just told me, you should, you know, get some sort of treatment. And I was like, what? I got a little angry actually at her because what's she talking about? You know, what treatment? What help? You know, I don't need any help. So um, I'm proud to say actually that I did get better without any medical treatment. So you can, I am the living proof that you can actually, if it's not really serious, because fortunately what I had then was not serious. It was just that so many things just built up, all that stuff, the negativity, the frustration, the lack of a lack of love and understanding from others, and you might say also frustration over no longer being a young guy, entering my 40s. It all boiled over, simply, and then it can get the way it gets. I mean, I had a couple of, well, I think I had three panic attacks during that year also, and one of them at work, which was really scary, because I didn't know what was happening. I was fine when I got there, and suddenly I remember there was a lunch break, and after that lunch break, I suddenly got agitated because something wasn't going so smoothly with what I was doing, and I just got angry and took whatever, smashed, and I was just pissed off suddenly, and then this fear just came over me. That's the scariest part when when you know why you have fear or anxiety or panic attacks, it's another thing. But then when you don't know why actually this is happening, that's the worst thing. It's so scary, man. So but when I got out of there, I got out of the room where I was working because it was also rather isolated place where I was working back then. But I got out of there and I just felt better immediately. So yeah, I think many people they are too quick to go, the medical way with this, and instead they should just try first, Yeah, I understand it's very difficult to deal with this on your own. Yeah, it is, especially if you live on your own as well. Fortunately, I don't, but yeah, it is hard. But as time goes, and with me, as time went, I felt better and better, and you know, there was a while that I couldn't think of those things what happened that year because I would get another, anxiety attack. But then after a couple of years, yeah, it got better. Actually, also another thing, it turned out that actually a big part of why I had started experiencing all this was the sleeping pills that I was taking. I had been starting to take because I had problems, for a long time with insomnia, and then it got better, and then again it got worse, and so on. And then for a while, I was really kind of taking them all the time, only these pills, and it obviously didn't have a good effect on me. So yeah, that was definitely turned out to be one of the important reasons. But yeah, to return to my original point, it's just I found it's very important to get rid of everything negative, not to watch movies or TV shows that may upset you and that are, very negative. And not watch all these, conspiracy theorists and all that blah 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 stuff. And I mean, you can watch stuff that is very interesting that is not related to this time. But when you have people who say, "Oh, now it's the end of the world soon," and coming in, don't do that. Don't watch that nonsense. It's just, yeah, nobody knows when or if that will happen. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave you now because I think I've said enough. But sometimes my point was that we have to experience hardship in life to be able to do what's best for ourselves, to know what we need to do, because otherwise it just remains there. It remains. We often lock it in a cupboard. We lock that stuff away and pretend it's not there, and just builds up, and then you can, to the point where you cannot no longer ignore it. So yes, so don't do that. Just try not to dwell on anything. Just do what you need to do to feel better and have a good life, as good as possible. And so I wish you all a really good health, any kind of good health. Peace.